Time for another edition of the REPMO Recap Show presented by Absolute Roofing. We've got a lot of highlights from the past week. We'll talk to a couple of coaches, and we'll check in with one volleyball senior on our latest edition of the Tiger Triple Take. But first, football, a home game against Kickapoo, and it was a big night again for the Tigers against a new opponent. For the second time in 4 weeks, the Tigers scored 35 points in the first half on their way to a 49-17 blowout win over Kickapoo. Preston McCracken had the first of his 4 touchdowns on that play. The second touchdown of the night set up by this long run by Isaiah Hull, and that led to this run by Mason Fleetwood into the end zone. That made it 14-7 Tigers at the time. The defense was good all night. Kieran Govan came up and made the hit on a little screen pass out into the flat on that one. And the offensive line continued to do work up front. On this one, it was Preston McCracken off a busted play, cutting it back the other direction and finding the end zone. That was 21 points for the Tigers. A near interception by Gavin Lawhon, another punt by Kickapoo, and that led to this run by Owen Clare after the touchdown we saw from Preston McCracken. And then McCracken in again on this one as he takes it in the left side. The running game was good. The passing game, when it was needed, was also there. That was a pass to C.J. Ewell. Owen Clare with a touchdown in the second half, and they finished off the scoring on this long run by Matthew Pelfrey. Final score 49-17.
I thought our kids were the more physical team. I thought that they came out and up front, both sides of the ball. I told them that's where the game's going to be won, is who can move the line of scrimmage, and I felt like we did both sides of the ball, did a good job with the line of scrimmage, and that's usually when we're at our best.
The softball team was hot and cold this week, and they started off hot, a 17-0 win over Springfield Glendale that included 3 home runs, including this one by Addison Walker in the first inning. She actually singled to lead off the game. This was her second time up in the inning, and she homered later on. Annabelle Gerhard-Hobbs, after getting seemingly hit by a pitch, was told she had to stay in there and bat because the umpire didn't see it. She took care of business by knocking it over the left field fence, and that extended the lead against Springfield Glendale. And then Addie Brown got in on the act with this home run, lined it over the center field wall, and the Lady Tigers go on to win 17-0 over Springfield Glendale. They went to the Park Hill South tournament later on. They lost 2 games on Friday in close fashion, scored just 5 combined runs in that one, and then they scored 18 against St. Pius X, including 4 of them on this grand slam by Sammy Watson. That put an exclamation mark on the week for the Lady Tigers, and they beat St. Pius 18-1. 5 more matches for the Lady Tigers volleyball team this week. They lost on the road at Lebanon. Lebanon now 13-3-1, and they squeaked by Republic in 5 sets. Lady Tigers lost the first set to Springfield Central at home. You can see part of that here. They went on to win 3 straight, and they picked up the win at home. At the Springfield Classic, they were 1-2, beating Rogers, Arkansas, losing to Conway and Bryant. Coach Allison Davis says the wins and losses aren't where she wants them right now, but she does think her team is getting prepared for a tough postseason with this stretch of schedule.
Playing the schedule that we play right now is giving our girls opportunity to grow. And it's stretching us. We're learning a lot about each other. With the tough schedule that we have, I love how we're coming together as a team. We may not be winning all of the games that we want to win right now, but I know in the long run, it's what's going to prepare us for when it's important.
It was a tough week for the Soccer Tigers against a couple of good conference opponents, Ozark and Nixa. On Tuesday, Ozark came to town. They got a 3-2 win. It was back and forth all night. Ozark scored first. Republic took the lead on a couple of goals in the first half by Will Pinnell. They challenged elsewhere in the game, but then a penalty kick early in the second half tied the score. Ozark scored late against Republic to win it 3-2. At Nixa, the defense was solid, but they couldn't quite hold off the Eagles. Cole Williams made several big saves. Eagles defense, though, too tough for the Tigers to score on. Republic lost it on the road 2-0. Tigers return to conference action this week. We already heard from volleyball coach Allison Davis. Now we hear from Addison Gibbs, one of the volleyball seniors, on our Tiger Triple Take, presented by State Farm agent Sarah Rader.
Your go-to music before a game?
Me and my team, we actually have a playlist. We just call it our locker room hype playlist that we play before every game, and it just has a lot of songs that pump us up. One of our favorites recently has been Fiend. It's popular. It's just funny.
If you could have any superpower to use in volleyball, what would it be?
I'd want to read other people's minds because then I would know like what they're thinking, and like especially the other team, I would know if they're thinking like I want to hit this next ball line, or like I want to run a shoot on this next ball, or like what their plans are going to be.
What two sports would you combine into a single sport, and how would it work?
I'd say volleyball and soccer because those are the two sports I play, and I'd want to combine them because in volleyball you can use your feet and like it still counts, but like in soccer you can't use your hands. So I just feel like it would be fun if like in both like you could just use both and somehow it work. And like I don't really know the details on it, but like maybe like kicking the ball over the net like a lot or more often is like normal or something. I don't know.
And that's going to do it for another edition of the REPMO Recap Show presented by Absolute Roofing. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next week with more Tiger highlights.